Good morning, traders. Today is Monday, April 14, 2025. My name is Joseph. I'm with Smart Money Traders. We're going to be looking at these markets together. Just give me a minute to go over the disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. This is not a recommendation to buy or sell any foreign exchange contracts or future contracts. Trading is risky. Definitely trade with risk capital, money that you can afford to lose. Also makes you just well capitalized and know what you're doing. So again, educational purposes only, not investment advice. And past result doesn't indicate future result. So with that said, let me just go and look at the market real quick here. Let's look at LE first, because this is what we usually trade now. LE here, we gapped up. It looks like we tried to close the gap. We couldn't, so we definitely, we want to be going long here on LE. I think this is the direction here we want to trade. Let's see. Let me go back to, probably trade 2 contracts today. See here, 77.5. Okay, can probably try to buy here. Let's see if we can buy right around VWAP and give us an entry. Also, we look at NQ and NQ here. Let's look at ES first. Looks like we're selling. We're going down here for the moment. Market just opened 10 minutes ago, so we got a big bearish bar here. I think that what we're doing here on ES, we're adjusting inventory for overnight. This is what we saw Friday, and we gapped up. We never closed the gap. They may try to close this gap, which is not really a big gap. So they definitely could turn this around here and go to the upside. It looks like bullish is the sentiment here today. Also, let's look at NQ. Probably same scenario here. NQ is right in the thick of pulling back as well. So I think when we look at the sentiment, look at how they did it. They came back and tagged and really get right at the high of the Globex high, and they're turning it around. So with the trade that we're in right now, we're down 3 ticks. Gonna get back to the screen in a second. Down a couple of ticks here. Yeah, definitely the market is selling off. Last couple of weeks or a week and a half or so here, really haven't traded the indices because they're just too volatile. They're very, very volatile at the moment. So that's why we've been sticking with trading LE, which is a live cattle. Just a much less volatile market. It's a little more, conducive to pretty decent trading. Very, very, trading is never going to be easy, but it's just simpler to trade these markets right now. We're up 10 ticks here. Let's see if we can get to that next level. We're going to give it one more tick here. 72.5 will be our target. So when we would move our stop to break even, probably when we get to that high. If we get to that high here, we can move our stop to break even. Now, 20 ticks is a catastrophic stop. Catastrophic stop where if we were to, market just plunge on us, we would just lose 20 ticks. But at the moment, we honestly could move up. Let's see, 15. We can definitely reduce our risk here significantly. I think we'll probably move at 40, which would be 9 ticks, 11 ticks. So we'd be risking 11 ticks. So let's do that. It's right below the swing here. They may come back and tack us out here, but if they do, just be 11 tick loss instead of 20. Or is it 12 ticks? I think it's 12, yeah. I think what we'll do is put below the swing here, which is 16 ticks. Yeah. We should expect some back and forth here around that level. We have stuck with our original stop. Time will tell, Time will tell. Because right now we're risking 16 ticks instead of the 20, 21. I think we'll risk the 21 at first. Yeah, we got tagged out. We're up to 15 ticks now. We wanted to break this before we move to break even. It never did. Let's look at the 30 minutes here on LE. Things are going. Looks like we want to go lower. If we take this. So right now, when I look at LE right now, we think that things have changed to the downside. Definitely not the best way to manage this trade that I did here. Because, yeah, definitely could have moved to break even. But at the same time, I wanted to break the barrier. I wanted to give it more. Still low on this candle, 20. So this, we had a 21 tick stop. So if we get 17.5, we'll see what happens here. But it looks like we want to go lower here. The gap up to go lower, maybe. So it's Monday. It's really sometimes harder to see where the market wants to go on a Monday. So we would like to see a little pullback toward VWAP to go short. That's something we're not going to be chasing this, or is it going back and test those lows and go higher? So we're still open to the long, but at the moment we're open to the short. Let's see what the market does. If you're trading the indices, it looks like they want to go higher. We're right at VWAP on ES and NQ. So where's VWAP for NQ? We're approaching VWAP, and then definitely looks like they want to go higher. Some aggressive buying here, definitely on ES. All right. And the low here is 20. I mean, I still would be in this trade with my emergency stop, which was at 17.5. But at the same time, I think it looks like this market wants to head lower. So a couple more ticks higher here to the other side here. All right, let's see what happens here. It's still kind of really not clear what it wants to do. Once again, I enter here. We hit this area again. High side. Move my stop to break even would have been okay, but I move it below here, below the support line. Kind of reduce it by 5 ticks, but it just wasn't enough. They came back and tagged me out. Now let's see. Well, it looks like NQ got to the VWAP and turn around. That's a very likely turnaround place for usually anything that we're trading. Like we're looking at LE, that could be a place here where they use the VWAP as a bounce point here to the downside. I think 47.50 here we may go short. 47.50 if we get the opportunity. And let's see if this is going to be a VWAP bounce here to go to the downside. This is look at the volatility in this thing. 9.53. It's like a minute later. You move on the NQ. Minute later you move I don't know, 200 ticks plus. Yeah, 245, 300 ticks almost. So look where we are here, Fib-wise. We got the 50% retracement. It's not 50%, it's not a Fib number, but halfway to that leg down. If we turn around here, okay, we got filled here. Again, we're in a scenario right now. If we were to go back up and tag us out here, we would call it a day as far as trading. Because obviously we're not seeing this market, and Mondays are a little tougher to trade too. So that's something we gotta keep in mind. Keep hitting that VWAP and go the other way on NQs. So we're gonna let this market see what it does here. You know, we're gonna just let the market do what it does. Yeah, this time around we're just gonna let the emergency stop in place until we move to break even at 20 ticks. If we get to 20 ticks, we move to break even. That's fine. And earlier we were up about 15, 16 ticks. We're going to move to break even manually because we feel like, hey, it could be a pullback toward those lows, and which happened, but tag us out. Again, have we left for emergency stop in? We'll still be in this trade. Hindsight is 2020. We don't trade it. We can't trade in hindsight. We can only trade what we have right now. So order flow is showing like we're turning bearish here. So let's see if we can make a no low here and keep going lower. So it's a big fight going on here between buyers and sellers. As you can see here, we're ranging in this area. So on the 10 range chart here, we're ranging. All indication so far looks like the sellers are getting a little aggressive here. So hopefully we can take this past the swing, and that'll be enough for us to go make a no low for the day and eventually hit our target. So let's wait and see. Well, like I said, we're going to keep our emergency stuff in place here, which is a maximum of 21 ticks. If they were to come back and get us, they come back and get us, you know. Just gonna have to make him work, get our stuff here. Yeah, it looks like they're pushing down at the moment. Now the indices looks like they want to go lower here with and yes, looks like she wants to go lower. Or maybe not. Market analyzer is on the top screen. Okay. I was like, where's well, indices are pushing higher now. See if there's any news. 10:04. So yeah, top of the hour. I'm definitely short here that's not looking too good. Just looking at some news item here. Yeah, I think as we kind of said here, the first half an hour was an inventory adjustment. They were adjusting the inventory from overnight. Now it's I'm looking at the ES here. Came back, it kind of grinded higher after gapping up. They attempted to close the gap as they always do. And that doesn't mean they're gonna be successful. And now they're grinding higher. You know, the trade is still kind of showing some like it to at least get back past my entry point to the downside here to say, hey, this trade is still has a chance to work out. But until we get taken out, we don't know. You know, only down 7 ticks here, but this thing can jump up fairly quickly here. Down 3 ticks, you know. It's a big back and forth going on here. Now we're seeing the Geiger counter here, which is the top middle. It's kind of neutral. So it's like a stalemate between buyers and sellers. Down 10 ticks, 11 now. So 10:08, almost 10:09 Eastern time. And based on the other floor here, could see a push down here. It looks like what looks like some trap traders up here on the buy side. I don't know if they're gonna get rescued or not. But if we can get a negative bar here to the downside, I think we may see some more movement toward that. Yeah. Yes, and NQ are selling off at the moment. It's a pretty big sell-off, and we know the NQ is definitely something that moves very, very rapidly. Yeah, this from here to here, that's all more than 50 points, 200 ticks. So, you know, that's why I had to adjust my trading as far as what I trade, because this volatility is too much. Now, unless you trade micros, 1 or 2 micros, you can survive this. But even then, it's really... those big back and forth is just a little too much for me. Too much for my liking. Not too much for me, but too much for my liking. So here we're ranging here. Can we break the range to the downside, which is what we would like to see happen? So far, that's not what we're seeing here. Once again, that's something I got as somebody that like to see my trades well into profit before I move my stop. That's what happened here. I went long, and we were up at least 15 ticks, you know, we're 70 to, yeah, we're up 15 ticks here. And we know we're approaching this resistance level, but we never actually got rid of, we never moved our stop to break even. We reduced the risk though. We reduced the risk by like 5 ticks. Normally your stop was at 17.5, which will still be in that long trade, but obviously right now we're trying to move to break it too. We think this market may be moving to the downside here. We got a couple trend line breaks. We got that longer term one from the close on Friday to where we are now. We could even add another one here that from here to here, you know, it's a little more shallow one, but let's see if we break, you know, if we go past this level here and tag us to for loss, that's fine. We're just gonna call it a day. I mean, Mondays usually we don't trade that much anyway, but lesson for today is on a Monday, just move your stuff quicker. Because 15 ticks, that was plenty of room for us to operate. But we have an ATM set up when we're gonna move our stuff to break even at 20 ticks, and he wanted to clear this high first before we do that. We didn't. He didn't, obviously. Now we would see if we can go the other way. See if we can go to the downside here. Now the trend is kind of really in flux. I mean, it's kind of ranging. We go back to the Unirenko here onto the top left. See the trend is it's ranging here. This blue line, the red line say, hey, there's no trend at the moment, we're ranging. But we're below VWAP. But which is that could indicate that we may be going lower. This market can turn on a dime. You know, any market can turn on a dime. So let's take this fib out. Let's see if we can break to the downside. Today we're already on a range of 44 ticks. The last 5 days we had a 150 ticks range. The last 10 days 127 tick range. Well, therefore, as far as range, I think we're very realistic. We can get to our target down here if we break down. Let's wait and see what happens here. Yes, and then Q are still kind of going lower. Once again, if we make a no low here, you'd expect some kind of acceleration to the downside. That doesn't mean that's going to happen because obviously this will serve as support here. You know, let's see how it reacts to this level, 197.07 half. If we'll get here to here, to 11 ticks, so we'll get to maybe 190 start point. It'll basically move our stuff to break even. The ATM will, if I don't move it manually, because we already had a loss. So if we were fortunate enough to get to close to 197 here, we'll move our stuff accordingly. Up about 8 ticks right now, 7 ticks. Let's wait and see. I think if we break this the low of the day here, we'll reduce our risk considerably. The low of the day is 197 half. I think when I look at up here, this candle at 24 up there, some aggressive buyers here got stuck up there, and I think they may not get rescued if they go past this level. Something right now, I could even move my stop down to 82 half, reduce my risk. If they go back higher here, I think they're gonna take us out for a full stop or for a full loss. Again, sometimes you gotta adjust your plan on the fly, because for me, looking at this here, if we cannot move lower here, we're gonna go for the high of the day. And again, if we get back down here toward those lows, I think we're gonna move our stop down. We'll move our stop down here. It'd be 82 half. I think it's like from 47 half to 82 half. Like 14 ticks. I think we should reduce our risk at 14 ticks, maybe 15. Yeah, gonna move it down. Just my risk here. So there's Monday. It's not done. So got a whole week to trade. We want to go back up there and take out this level by a couple of ticks. We'll be out. Let's wait and see here what we get. So they keep hitting VWAP, they keep hitting VWAP from below. They're hitting it. They broke down, came back to it one time, twice, and that's the third time. Maybe the third time will be the charm here. Let's see what they do. Well, you should expect this fight over here, because this blue line here is supposed to be support. From above, if you're coming down to it, is support. If you're going up to it, is resistance. So we should expect that. And this was why I put my stop below here earlier on the long trade. Let me make this bigger. On the long trade, I went along here, put my stop below here. My stop was below actually at 17.5. But I reduced my risk by 4 ticks. Got taken at 27.5. So it got stopped out. Now we say, okay, this market looks like it wants to go lower. This is where we are at the moment, up about 4 ticks. The bears win. We're on the bearish side at the moment. Trend is kind of really non-existent at the moment. As you can see, the Raptor saying trend is nothing. It's blank. It's in between the two clouds. Let's see how it goes here. Definitely trading live cattle. You gotta be patient, because it doesn't move like NQ. It doesn't move like ES, where it moves like dozens of ticks at a time. It just moves very, very slowly. It reminds me a little bit of bonds. I used to trade down the 30-year bond ZB. Probably nothing I may look into as well. I'll go back and trade that. But with the volatility of the market, everything is kind of a little more volatile than usual. Well, it is 10:30 on the East Coast here. first hour of the market. Essentially, we have the initial balance form for the ES and NQ, even if we do that for LE here. So got this range here. So, well, looks like we might get taken out here. Or maybe not. Let's see. We're just going to let the market dictate what we do here. If we get taken out here, it'll be, like I like to say, we're going to pack our toys and go home and trade another day tomorrow, God willing. Yeah, there are going to be days like this, days where the market doesn't really want to move one over the other, chopping around. Typically, you're not in the chop until you get into it, because when I think about it, I went short over here when we went this way, and I believe I went short right here at 47.5. So it's gonna be days like this, days like today. One more ticks here, we're gonna be taken out. Yeah, still kind of back and forth here. Down 6 ticks at the moment. Right now, the last few minutes, ES, special on the 2 minute, has been kind of ranging. Lots of indecision here. Looks like he wants to go higher though, pushing down ES. How trade is, looks like we're down 3 ticks. Let's see if we, what's gonna happen next here. Just like I said, you have to be patient when you're trading live cattle. It's going to go during periods where the range is like this and nothing happens. Yeah, like I said earlier, a couple of minutes ago, ES is grinding higher. You could expect to see a no high for the day at any time. Obviously, you would need to clear the 88 level here. If it clears that, that'd be ideal. But back to our trade here, we're down 4 ticks. Let's see how it goes. Looks like the Geiger counter is going to the negative here, heading toward the red. So let's see if we can see a push down here. Stalemate going on right now between the buyers and sellers on live cattle. Let's see if we can push lower here. Okay, up 4 ticks. Let's see. Let's go. Looking at my other screen here, I'm looking at the fear and greed index. It's like extreme fear at 20, 21. Looks like. So people are still fearful in it. The uncertainty that markets don't lack uncertainty as well. As far as the fear and greed index, we're at 21 and we're as low as 4, which was extreme fear. A year ago this time we're at 45, which was neutral. So again, markets don't like that kind of stuff. It's like on and off tariff, one day they're on, one day they're off. This might be it for us. So again, we broke out the previous range, but we're ranging again here. And this is the range we broke out of. Now we're ranging again, which definitely could result into a loss here. If they take out the high of this, the previous range by a couple of ticks, we'll be out of the trade. Okay, 1 tick, 1 more tick here, we'll be out, and we'll be done trading for the day if that were to happen. There you go. Got taken out here. Alright, thank you for supporting the stream and watching. Today definitely wasn't a day that we, once again, we're down here, which we went long down here, up 15 ticks, we didn't move to break even. Again, I think the frustrating part of the day is really my stop would still be in place if I didn't move my stop to break even. No, not break even. If I didn't move my stop up to reduce my risk, so I still be in this trade and still have a chance. But instead, we got 2 losses here. So with that said, we're gonna be closing shop here, and we'll trade tomorrow. For tomorrow, we'll use some better result. That said, good luck if you keep trading. Be careful out there. Today's Monday. So on Monday, usually 1 or 2 trades I'm done because the market's still trying to find its footing for the week. So have a good one. Take care. God bless. See you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.